Wonder Woman makes her feature-length cinematic debut and DC manages to make it not suck. But more than a few people are not quite as enthralled with Diana Prince as I am. Now you're probably wondering, is Dan going to cosplay for this one? Sorta? Hi, I'm Demi Sater and Thrissus wielder Dan Umpton, and this is the Doomcast. Wonder Woman. DC stuck the landing this time. Wonder Woman, created by psychologist and noted creep William Moulton Marston, has her first full film, and frankly, it's pretty great. Gal Gadot is phenomenal in the role. She's vibrant, she's funny, she's exceedingly deadly, and she's driven by compassion, which is exactly what I want to see in Wonder Woman. She's at once very naive and yet otherworldly. She's great. The mascara looks like a paradise. It's lush, it's hopeful, it's DC. Hope is DC's jam. That's where they succeed. When their characters bring light to dark places, when they're always the better for it. Wonder Woman is beautifully shot, and it's really well directed by Patty Jenkins. It's well conceived and well constructed, free of most plot holes or anything like that, except for an overnight boat ride from the coast of Turkey to England, only by wind power. That didn't make a whole lot of sense. The action is solid and everything is very well shot. In the late third act, everything is suddenly on fire and dark and sort of gross like other DC movies have been recently. Yes, Snyder still has a little bit of control, and the stuff that he has control over was insanely obvious and stood out. Speaking of Zack Snyder's control, what's with the theme song that's like a weird post-industrial, like, sort of orchestral screeching cats type thing going on? I don't know what it is. Yeah, that one. I don't like that at all. Do you like that? Well, let me have some Holst or some John Williams, or I'll take Danny Elfman in a pinch. Let's compare. Dark Knight? Yeah, that's March. That's Batman. It's Call to Justice. And then Superman. That's rousing. That's a fun overture. That's orchestral. And then Supergirl. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Kind of modern and sort of twinkly. That's nice. And then there's Wonder Woman. Yeah, industrial metal. That sounds like a Greek goddess driven by compassion. My gripes with Wonder Woman are few. The point is, the Wonder Woman did it. It spoke to the best of DC's characters and characteristics, and it presented hope. Not dark, gritty for the sake of dark and gritty, but DC's fun, light. It's supposed to be hopeful, and this movie is very much that. Overall, there's a lot of good characters with genuine motivation. Even Robin Wright's Antiope, who's on screen for a whole 10 minutes or so, is somebody that you empathize with and care about more than you do for Lex Luthor and the entirety of Batman vs. Superman. Although the reveals in the film are a little bit obvious, they don't ruin the movie. They do also ask you to make some pretty big leaps, though. Namely that David Thewlis Ares would actually decide to have a mustache like that for a whole 10,000 years. I don't think I could tolerate having something like that on my face for more than 5 minutes.
We're lacking diversity. Can we add a Native American character?
Sure, can we name him Chief?
Yeah, that sounds fine. What should his skills be?
I don't know, something stereotypical like tracking and smoke signals? While there's plenty to love and little to hate, some people have some pretty significant gripes with this movie. The third act in particular, which makes sense. It's a bit hasty, and it's full of a lot of explosions, which a lot of superhero movies are now. The real antagonist isn't really genuinely introduced until the last 20 minutes of the film either. And it's a little derivative. An origin story, a love interest, predictable world-ending threat that's defeated soundly at the very end. Maybe these aren't problems with Wonder Woman, though, and maybe they're problems primarily with superhero films in general. As a genre, superhero films work better when they're being another genre. The most successful superhero films are just other genres, but with superheroes added in. Logan is kind of a western. Guardians is a sci-fi film at heart. Ant-Man is a heist film. Winter Soldier is essentially a spy film. By and large, most superhero films are just like Wonder Woman, even the most critically acclaimed ones. The first Iron Man, the first Thor, the first Captain America, the first Spider-Man, the first Avengers. They were all similar structurally in a lot of ways. Only the Richard Donner Supermans and Tim Burton and Chris Nolan's Batmans didn't have CG-laden, hasty denouements. What if this is largely a predictable result of the saturation of superhero films? That the more that they appear, the closer they come to self-parody. In this case, commonality isn't necessarily a fault. What Wonder Woman's largely being criticized for is being derivative or being similar to other superhero films structurally, is that it's being derided for simply not having existed before Iron Man or Spider-Man 2. That said, sadly in our culture, it may never have had the chance to without them. What Wonder Woman does is manages to tell a pretty good self-contained story that successfully links her Greek origins with her modern hope and fight on behalf of human liberty. It introduces a heavily female cast in an action movie with a female lead that's tons of fun without reducing the main character to the fetish object that William Moulton Marston originally created her to be. It passes the Bechdel test, which shouldn't be a frickin' question in a female-helmed, female-led film about a female superhero. It also passes the did Dan just want the movie to be over because he has to pee test? Because not even Guardians of the Galaxy 2 passed that. Sorry, I really had to pee. It's a tight, structurally sound movie that has few flaws and that proves that a superhero action film with a female lead can smash box office records, is economically viable, and hopefully that will pave the way for a standalone film for characters that I like a lot, like Kitty Pryde or Black Widow, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Zatanna, Squirrel Girl, and the like. Maybe Black Canary. I don't know. But the future looks bright. Thanks everybody for watching. This has been the Doomcast. We'll see you next week.